Hello, and welcome back to Engine Killer. My name is Hank, and on today's episode, I'm going to finish painting the Warlord Sinister Psi-Titan for my friend Ed. Now, since this is part of the Million Miniature Challenge, this will actually be the first completed miniature that I've done for this challenge, which brings my grand total of completed miniatures to 1. But that's fine. I've actually got quite a few other miniatures in the pipeline. Some of them are either done or close to done, and we'll get to those in a later video. So, for now, let's see how the Psi-Titan came out. Go! Picking up where I left off, I'm going to go ahead and start by using Warlord Bronze, Citadel color. And this is a base paint, and I'm just going to go ahead and use this to pick out some of the other, just some different pieces here and there to kind of break up the metallics, mainly on things like pistons or other parts of machinery that look like they might have that different color to them, but or someplace where it will kind of stand out. I have also started to notice here that when I get a little bit too close to the camera, either I'm kind of pulling the miniature into the shadow or the miniature is just going out of focus, which is obviously not great. So I've gone ahead and I've ordered a new lens for the camera for when I'm doing these shots where I'm painting, so I can get up much closer. Just started testing that out, so hopefully going forward I'll have some better footage for these painting videos.
Yeah.
And then here I'm going over all of the gold trim with Agrax Earthshade. I actually went over the face shield several times with Agrax Earthshade because it's pretty dark on that faceplate, and so I really wanted to make sure I got it looking close to how it looks in the book. This is another Citadel paint, Hashut Copper, and then I've just mixed that with a little bit of the Warlord Bronze to get a little bit of a lighter tone so that I can use that to add some highlights to some of the Warlord Bronze here and there, especially on the top where the void shield is supposed to go. And then here what I'm doing is I'm going to go back over and dry brush that faceplate with some Dwarven Bronze and then just kind of start to build up the gold highlights on that with some lighter golds. These are all going to be scale 75 golds. And then the lightest gold that I'm going to use here is going to be the Citrine Alchemy. And then here what I'm doing is I'm doing some really close kind of edge highlights on all of the gold trim. And this is just kind of a mix of Dwarven Bronze and Citrine Alchemy. And then on some of that, I'll go back over with just the Citrine Alchemy to get the really bright highlights along the upper edges where you would expect the light to hit. Should also note that in my last video, I realized after the fact when I was watching it again, I kept calling it Ryza Dust, and I was talking about the orange paint that I was using, and it's actually Ryza Rust, which obviously makes more sense. I don't know how I missed that. Now that all the highlights and the washes and the highlights are all done on the gold trim, I need to go back and fix some of the spots that I messed up before while I was getting those highlights and things. And so what I'm going to do is just mixing a little bit of Eshin Gray with black and going back in with fine tip and just getting all those spots where I just where I had a little bit of overspill onto the armor plates. Also notice I actually didn't end up going back and adding the side armor for the torso plate. I did get one, but I didn't want to ruin a whole nother Warlord Titan just for that one piece, so I've ended up just leaving it off. When it's on the table, you can't really see that it's missing anyway, so I figured it wasn't that big a deal. And then here I'm just going back in with some Warplock Bronze on the side weapon and doing some highlights on some of the other weapons. Army Painter's War Paints Shining Silver. This is a really bright metallic paint. It's kind of like Citadel's Mithril Silver. I don't know if they even still call it Mithril, but I'm going to use this to go over all the metal, just to kind of give it a zenithal highlight here and there. Now for the moment of truth. This is the part that I've kind of been dreading. I'm going to start off doing the glow for the runes first. And for this, I'm going to use Citadel Layers Sotek Green. And I'm just going to dry brush this on pretty generously on the left side where the runes are supposed to go, or will go, I should say. And then on top of that, I'm going to highlight with a lighter dry brush, just kind of inside of that previous dry brush with another Citadel color, layer paint, Sybarite Green. I had gotten these acrylic paint pens. They're fine point paint pens. I really wanted to use these for the runes, and they came out okay. They were a little bit thicker than I had hoped, and in retrospect, I probably should have just freehanded these with a finer paintbrush. But these came out all right. They're just a little bit thicker than I would have liked. I did end up having to go back in and kind of thin down some of those lines, again with a mix of Chaos Black, or I'm sorry, not Chaos Black, this is actually Two Thin Coats Doom Death Black, and some Citadel Eshin Gray. Mix those together to go back in and just clean up some of those runes on the armor that doesn't have the glow on the right side, to chop up some of those edges, clean those up a little bit, and make some of those lines a little bit thinner here and there. And ultimately, I think they came out pretty good. But I think if I do ever do this again, I'll either use decals or freehand it with a finer brush rather than using the acrylic pen. And then to clean up the runes on the side of the armor with the glowing edge, for that I just went ahead and used Sybarite Green. The base is finally built, primed, and I'm just going to go over that with a pretty heavy overbrush with Eshin Gray over the black primer. And then I'm just going to build up layers of some different grays here, probably starting with the Administratum Gray and then Ulthuan Gray. And then ultimately I'll end up using a light dry brush of white along the outer edges. I'm also going to go ahead and paint the ruined shipping containers in the same manner that I did the Power Fist, which will be nice because then now I'll have another item that won't just be the Power Fist that's red. Now we'll have the shipping containers on the base. I'm painting that with the Citadel's Corn Red, and then highlighting it with Citadel Colors Blood Red. Here I think I actually missed a spot, but I forgot I wasn't recording, and where I had used some Typhus Corrosion, it's a Citadel technical paint, just kind of slathering that all around, getting that into the rubble, and then just kind of brushing off some of the excess. And then I'm going to do a series of different washes, kind of random, just kind of here and there, with some Targor Raid Shade and Corellia Green Shade. for the last step here, what I'm going to do is use a sponge technique to do some chipping with the bolt gunmetal on the edges of the shipping container. And now that everything's all done, base is done, it's time to glue everything together. You'll notice that there are also water slide transfers on the shoulder armor plates. I didn't include those in this video. There will be in another video. I think I also missed finishing the scorch marks on the lasers. I think all told, I put about 16 hours into this project. It's definitely not Golden Demon material, but I think this is still a piece that most players would be proud to put on the table. Alright, yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers.